it's Nero. Now, Miss Helicopter, as a lot of people like to call her, is, well, is a character. And I'll again be showing off her active skills and stuff. Now, here's the thing. Compared to Charlie, I know a bit less about Nero. I will try to explain as much as I can about Nero. But again, I am no specialist on Nero. Now, Charlie, I have played more than Nero. Just so you know how much my experience on Nero is. I will still try to explain. I can still explain the basics to you at least. Also, she looks pretty good in this suit, doesn't she? Not bad. Huh? There you go. Get to look at it. Pretty nice. Okay, actual explanations now. So she has, I think, 5 lights as well. This is her 5 light combo. 1 light, 1 heavy. 2 light, 1 heavy. She has actually 2 heavies on that, by the way. Else it will stop there. She has actually 2. She can go from 2 light to 2 heavy. 3 light, 1 heavy, which is actually, that's a pretty good one to clear. Then you have this one, 4 light, 1 heavy, which is also really good to clear. So you have choices here. You can go with the 3 light, 1 heavy, or the 4 light, 1 heavy to clear. I'd say the 3 light, 1 heavy is better for clearing. You know, minions. Clearing minions, that's what I mean. Now, on the air, this is why she's known as the helicopter. I'm gonna show you. Like, as you see, she has 2 lights, 1 heavy. This is why she's called an helicopter. Exactly because of this. She can do this. Yeah. She can do that. This is why she's called an helicopter. You'll probably see a lot of people do this online, and there's not much you can do about it. Unfortunately, this is the problem of multiplayer, which is called infinites, especially air infinites. Literally. I never use these online ever. Just so you know. So you don't have to worry. At least with me playing, I will never do this to you. But there are players who still do this, and you will have to deal with them. The way to deal with them is, besides blocking, is usually because either you hope your character has kind of a high ceiling skill. So by high ceiling, I mean like that goes very high on the air. You hope you have something like that, else you're kind of like screwed. Basically, the only thing you can do is block, dash block. Do something like this and spam. This is kind of the only solution you got. Either way, she is the most well known for doing this, and it's kind of what makes her such a strong character. Usually, is because of this bullshit. If she doesn't use this though, if you find a normal Nero, she becomes a little less problematic. She is definitely a lot weaker without that, but she's still no slouch. Either way, let's show her skills. So first you got Rosa Ictus. This thing prevents Ardeo. Tempestus Primevere. And finally, Tres Fontaine Tempestes. Yeah, that. So, I'm gonna explain them, I guess. Rosa Ictus is your bread butter for clearing. Like, this thing is huge, goes far as hell, and my god does it clear minions like there's no tomorrow. And it's fast. So, yeah, there's no reason you should not take this on her. It is just amazingly good. It doesn't even take long to get out. If you have attack speed, just look at that. That fast. It's that fast. It is ridiculously good of an ability, this one. Just take it whenever... It's basically just use it whenever it's out of cooldown ability. It is that good of an ability. Fervence Ardeo, so this one. This is a color range ability, and this one is good and bad. Now, on the one hand, it's a really strong, fast, close range ability. However, here's the negative of it. The first part only hit stuns, it doesn't do damage. So the damage is when she actually slams her sword into the ground, not when the rose appears. So how do you... But this skill is still really good. Mainly because this skill can be comboed into from some of her other skills. Like you can go from this to this, and they will take a ton of damage. For example, from the stun to that, or one other skill I'll show later into that. So that skill is still good. You just gotta remind yourself that the first part only hits stuns and doesn't do damage. However, on the flip side, also you gotta remember it's not very good for clearing. It is short range. This is exclusively short range. Tempestus Primavera. Now, this skill looks nice actually, doesn't it? It's like pretty fast, it seems to clear decently and everything else, and the cooldown is actually pretty small, isn't it? Like, seriously, it's not even that long of a cooldown. Except this skill has a small problem. One small problem. It does no damage. This thing has probably the lowest damage value I've ever seen in a rush skill. It is so low, it basically tickles people. Yeah, this skill tickles people. Literally. The only usefulness I see in it is basically to clear waves. Or clear minions. That is it. You will never use this for actual damage on people, because this doesn't do damage. Any good, decent damage at all. So, no matter what, I would never recommend you to use Primavera. Like, and you can't really cancel out of it. Being fair, you can keep attacking after it really fast, but I would never recommend you to take Primavera. Fontaine Tempestus. This is an okay stun. It's not the fastest, but it does have a cone in front, which is fine, and it sticks for a bit. But again, it's like any stun, I'm just gonna say this. If you're good, this requires practice to use. If you're good with stuns, great, take it. If you're not very good with stuns, it's technically worse than Charlie's. It is a technically worse stun than Charlie's, just because it is the tiniest bit slower than his. And that's those skills in a nutshell. So let me go grab the other skills now. Real fast. Yeah, this is the problem of me not being able to, like... If you could, like, change this from, like, inside the match, that would be great. I'm gonna keep Fervencia Ardeo, because I'm gonna need that for something here. And this. And head into that. Okay, now. We now have 3 new abilities. And we're gonna have Tamamo talk. Anyways, you have 3 abilities. So you got Tres Fontaine Claudio. So this. Yep. Gladiusanus Blau Serum. Also, as you noticed, see how she did like this? I redirected it. This ability, the Gladiusanus can be redirected. And then Fontaine Ardente, which is her buff skill. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about her buff skill first. Her buff skill is probably one of the weakest buff skills in the game, mainly due to there being a problem with it online. Now, it does what every strengthening skill does, which gives you basically hit stun against drive. So it still does that job, but it doesn't add to your range and it doesn't increase your damage online. Usually the damage this would give would be a burn type of damage. However, that never happens. Just this burn damage online never happens. And I mean, literally, you can do whatever you want. You never see the extra damage. Like, literally never ever do you see this extra damage. Supposedly she does burn damage, but I've never seen that happen. So, technically you still want to take it, because it's a buff skill. But, just be mindful that it doesn't do much. Besides just being a buff skill that will give you priority over drive. Now, Transfontaine Claudio, this tornado thingy, you can't move, you can't block during that, you can't dash. No, you can't do any of those. This thing is only kinda useful. In the one hand, it's fine for giving you drive, but again, you have Rosa Ictus, why would you use this? Which is even shorter ranged. But the main, and it does pity damage. So basically almost no damage. What it does good is that it heals you. It is one of the few abilities that heal. Only her, but it heals her nonetheless. It is a healing ability mainly. But it needs to hit enemies. However, it has one big problem. You are extremely vulnerable doing this thing. And this thing will not knock down enemies. This does not knock down enemies. Ever. Like, they will just be hit stun for a bit, but that's it. They will not get knocked down even. So, you don't even get a hard knockdown. Not even a hard knockdown. You don't get a hard knockdown, and you don't even get a knockdown from this. Okay? You just get nothing. So, this ability is just... If it at least knocked people down, maybe it could be useful, but it's... if it doesn't even do that, there's just not much reason to use it. Now, Gladius Sanus Blaucerum. This thing. That hits 3 times. You cannot move during this. Yes. However, this thing, not only can you redirect where the hell you're shooting this thing, and they do have to block this thing, by the way, just a warning, they do have to block Gladius Sanus. Unless they have a counter. Gladius Sanus literally is probably her most damaging skill, not accounting Ardeo. Now, remember me saying you could combo into Ardeo before? This is the skill you use. So, if you hit someone with this, they will get knocked up, dash, Ardeo. They're dead. Literally, if you combo Gladius Sanus into Fervence Ardeo, they will die. They will be 2-shot in this case. They will be 2-shot. And if you have attack speed on, my god, can you do this fast? Just that, and they're dead. Like, if they don't heal, they are dead again. This is always the point. If they heal, they survive, obviously. If they don't heal, they die. So, hit all 3, dash, Ardeo, they die. As simple as that. That's why you use this skill. And if you have the buff skill, you definitely grab some people. Now, how is she on drive? There's a reason she's called an helicopter, and that's because if she's on drive and she's helicoptering, you're basically screwed. This is what you'll see a lot of people do. Either way, I'm not gonna teach you how to do that. Now, this is her drive skill. This is actually a pretty good drive skill because it hits a lot behind her, as you can see. It's a pretty good drive skill, and the reason why it's also good, it's not the fastest, yes, but she is immune during the whole thing. She really cannot be taken out of this drive skill. Also, while she's on drive, and technically you use all of the code cast, she is still very dangerous, by the way, because her abilities come out faster. This death combo becomes even more deadly, because literally just one of those, the Gladius Sanus can kill by itself on drive. And again, she's just very solid while on drive. She's probably stronger than Charlie on drive, mainly because of the drive skill. Maybe I'm giving the drive skill too many points, but like having a drive skill that gets you immune to damage and basically hit stun and everything, that just makes you immune, is very nice to have. It's like a get out of jail free card sometimes. Literally. It can literally save your life sometimes. Even on drive, you might be in trouble. Just a warning. So that's basically it, I guess. So what would I use for skills on her? I think that would be... I don't think I'm gonna do the multiplayer match because, like, there's no... I could technically show you, I guess, there. I don't know, do you want me to do the multiplayer match just to show off the character once? Maybe I should. Yeah, you know what? I probably should. So let's go into the multiplayer match. And I'll show off the character in a... Again, yes, I know I'm going up against AI, but this is just a mini showing of what she can do in multiplayer. At least at the beginning and during what you kind of want to do a little bit. And I'm not going to teach you how to, like, that comes from experience. There's too many situations for every character against another character. And that's just impossible to do. Now, I will at least show you the skills. Now, what do I recommend? Again, I recommend Rosa Ictus, Forvenzi Ardeo, Transfondent Ardent, and Gladius Sanus Blau Serum. Now, you can, and again, I repeat, you can substitute Gladius Sanus for Fontaine Tempestes, if you're good with stuns. And it won't give you... You lose a kill combo, but you get a stun, which can be as useful, if not more useful sometimes. I don't recommend Primavera because, again, the damage is pitiful. As you can kindly see over there, attack power is 4.80 is nothing. And Claudio I don't recommend either, because while the heal is fine, it doesn't knock down people, it's also not very damaging, and you really are stuck in that. If they are outside of that thing, they will basically take you out of it really fast. So again, I recommend either the stun or Gladius Sanus. Just choose one and go with it. Rosa Ictus and Fervens Ardeo I recommend having at all times. And the buff skill, because it's a buff skill. Either way, I'm gonna at least show you how I play a little as her in an actual. So I did explain about that helicopter thing, right? I don't do it mainly because it's not a good thing for any new players. Like, it's the easiest way to get new players out of this game. It's literally the easiest thing. Is like, what am I supposed to do against someone flying in the sky that is basically and they cannot be taken out? Literally, there's very little you can do, unfortunately, in this game. Now, when you start the match, though, Rosa Ictus immediately, unless Tamamo is on the other side. Again. So you want to buff skill whenever you can, by the way. To clear towers, this is the best ability she's got, by the way. For clearing. Oh, kicks Jeanne d'Arc. Okay. So, if you catch them with this dash, you can do this if you don't have this, but if you have that, just use Fervenzi Ardeo. As you can see, you can do something like, if you catch them with Gladius Sanus, just dash, either do basic attacks or immediately do Fervenzi Ardeo. You want to use Ardeo by itself, by the way. Ardeo by itself, unless you're clearing a tower, you never want to use it by itself. Ever. Again, as I said, Rosa Ictus, use whenever you feel like it's... And I got one of them. See? You can go in some pressure. By the way, be warned. While you're using skills, basic attacks, unless you have strengthening buff, skills will beat basic attacks. So while they're doing a skill, they can't be hit stun unless the person they are trying to use the skill on has a buff skill. Yeah, this is not very good for, as you notice, destroying tower either. You can technically also do this. I don't think... Actually, I don't think you can. I'm getting some help from the AI here to, you know, show off, I guess. Okay, where's the point gonna be? Yeah, a good strategy is also to just, if the point is about to change, just go to some other sector. Just leave one person on the point. Make sure to leave one person. Now I'm gonna show her how broken she can be in, again, drive. Everyone can be kind of broken in drive. That's the thing. Yeah. That one, she can't do like Charlie with her basics where she can like, she can 5-shot. She cannot do that. She can do this, which is still very strong. And she's fast enough to just catch up to these things, if you have attack speed on, which you really should. Also, the drive skill, as you saw, is really good. Why did I go down there? God damn, I'm getting stuck down here. We kind of want to wait between. Don't just use Claudio whenever. Try and have Prevencia de Deo. Well, unfortunately, defense tower for my. The problem is she's not very good at dealing with tower. She's fine if you have Prevencia Ardeo, but if you don't have Prevencia Ardeo, you're kind of like you have a problem. You kind of will have a little bit of a problem. Okay, I'm just waiting. What other mention should I have for this character? I don't even know at this point. I think I've basically just touched on every point possible. Pretty much every point has been touched on. Like, she's not the most complex character to play, I'd say. Unless you're gonna, like, try to do some shenanigans with stun and stuff. But, like, in general, the majority of the sabers are kind of simple to play. So, you don't have to worry too much about chaining stuff with her. When it's just a bit of, like, use Rose Ictus to get drive as much as you can and poke. If you see opportunity, Glaudiosianos into Fervencia Ardeo. Make sure your buff skills up. If you can catch someone with basic attacks, do catch them. And if you have drive, use it. Because their drive and use their drive skill at the end of your drive time. So what do I think of Nero in the end, basically? Nero is a good servant, in my opinion. It's a strong still a strong servant. I definitely feel she's a little bit more underwhelming compared to Charlie. Again, Charlie can do some really nuts stuff. She does have a better skill for getting drive, but that's one skill, which is Rose Ictus. And technically, she is a little faster than Charlie. But on the other hand, Charlie's damage output can be so ridiculous. It's like, he can technically, like, control a match. I'm not saying Nero cannot do that, she can, but it's a little harder for Nero to do that compared to Charlie. So, if the rankings from before, D, C, B, A, or S, I would give her a high B. This one, she would be high B. She's still really strong compared to a lot of other characters in this